So I want to look at muting the strings, and basically what that does is allows you to take the palm of your hand and this portion of your hand is sort of just resting on right around the sound hole and more towards the bridge, if you will. So that's kind of where it hovers, and you're gonna have to sort of mute the strings with that portion as you do a bit of downward flow. Okay, and then there's some also too certain amount of pressure that you would apply to holding your pick. So in muting the guitar, there's both the use of your palm to rest on the strings and the amount of pressure, which is rather light, holding the pick lightly as you would like pluck or go downward in motion. Okay, so using that E major, what we'll do is you just sort of want to do what they call like chug. So the note is faintly there, but it still has a muted sound because of the base of your hand. Okay, so the more you get your hand away from the strings, the more sound you're going to generate. Okay, so it takes some getting used to. It definitely is an art form in its own right, and it's going to take some time before you can get it really fluid. But once you learn how to just rest your hand right on that string, okay, you'll begin to call out the notes pretty obviously as you'll go and use different chord patterns. But I like this chord pattern because it spells it out pretty good. Okay, and basically again, you can mute the top part of the strings and just practice that muting, or you can just leave them open. Okay, but the bottom line is you definitely got to get the palm of your hand to rest on there. So okay, as opposed to open chord, what we're doing now is we're just resting that part of our hand on there. Okay, I don't have a lot of pressure on this pick, but in this movement it's pretty light. Alright, and I'm almost just letting it snap off of those strings. I got kind of, you'll hear a lot of clicking and pick noise during this movement. So basically that's what this muting is when you're muting your chords, individually or in a chord pattern. It just creates a different dynamic, and it's a really awesome thing to use in worship. Alright, so what I'd like to do is incorporate all three of those movements together, and we'll do it to a little slower click track. We'll do it in time, and we're going to use strumming and then some picking and muting as well. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so there you have it. 3 really cool ways that you can practice some of the dynamics to really getting those chords out, and you're gonna at one point probably have songs that you can use each one of those movements in, and different tempos that you can set them to, and some really neat ways that you can incorporate into your own personal practice times.